All right, guys, what's up? What's up? Welcome to Tactical Shigarami TV. And as per usual, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that good jazz. Once again, pardon for the voice. During the time of this recording, I am a little bit under the weather. Boom, boom. Anyways, to my main concern, including the YouTube brass, the viewers, and all that. Everything in this video is safe and 100% an imitation. So please don't take it as if we are trying to enhance the sales of anything dangerous. Everything is 100% safe. Anyways, now that we've gotten that done and we're pretty much through with that, let's get to the main event and the thing that you guys really want to talk about, what you really want to see here. So we'll do one of these. This video is going to be a very basic and generic overview in terms of what I have in front of me right now, and then I'll do another variant with a little bit of manipulation and some field stripping and things like that. That other video will be available in the members only, so go ahead and check that out, and that same said video, or at least the link, will be also up on Patreon as well. So let's get into it. We got two very famous snakes here at the moment. If you guys have probably seen this or seen these around for quite some time now, over the past year. So we have the Army Armament R615D and R614, pretty much the Pit and Sand Viper from TTI. Okay, really awesome comped 2011s for Airsoft, really cool. And in the real steel world, you're looking at about $20,000, which is insane. I don't know why, but that's just what it is. And market value and all that other stuff goes a long way, I guess, especially when you consider pretty much how these things are portrayed in the media and things like that. Anyways, we'll get into some of the overall obvious base points in terms of handling and things like that. So once again, just to verify, everything that you're going to see here is 100% clear. Nothing is dangerous. Everything is 100% clear. To kind of show that, boom. Okay, we're clearing over on this side and we're clear over here, okay? 100% nice and safe. So what we have with the TTI, right? Sand Viper and Pit Viper, what I can pretty much verify for you right now is complete Tokyo Maruwi compatibility for the most part. I can't really go too much into performance on the Pit Viper as I haven't run it yet at the moment, at the time of this recording, in a game or in a training session. That's going to be coming later on within the year for 2024, hopefully going into 2025, you get to see some good action with this and we'll be able to put it through its paces and things like that. So we'll get into the couple of the obvious things first in terms of a comparison. So what you have, obviously, you have one setup with a dot and one without a dot. Now, I've seen a lot of people use different types of mounting systems to get a dot for the Pit Viper, to put a dot on it. Why? I don't really know. I think that if you just want to get the dot, just go for the Sand Viper. But a lot of people like the Pit because of the color, so I kind of get it. Now, from first glance, these don't really seem like there's much difference at all. I didn't really think they were that different. Essentially, I thought, well, one doesn't have a dot and one does. And more than likely, the internals are almost exactly the same in the handling. But that's not exactly the case for the most part. So even when I got the Sand Viper for the first time, when I was racking it, right? And then I compared that to the Pit Viper, the Sand Viper was a little bit smoother. It still feels a little bit smoother in terms of the machining and the hand fitting and the way how the slide reciprocates. It feels a little bit smoother than the Pit Viper. Now, the Sand Viper to your left, which is the R615D, is a standard Sand Viper. It's not the high grade one that they have out now, but the one to the right, this is the CNC version which according to what I saw on the marketing portion when I got it off of Tiger 11HK, 111HK, that's what they call. That yeah, the hammer and all that pretty much was made out of steel. I believe there were some steel parts in here, and the slide, everything is supposed to be CNC, aluminum. You got a whole bunch of CNC parts, and basically some strong stuff that's in there. So this is not the standard. So there are a little bit of some internal differences that I will show in another video when I take it down. So it's not going to be this video. So once again, if you want to see a side-by-side internal comparison, you're going to have to, pay that extra dollar or so and check out the members only. It's up to you. But if not, if this video will do, then that's perfectly fine. So what we have pretty much for the most part on both parts of the slide here, we have serrations on the front, all right, and you have serrations on the back for the both of them in the exact same place. Now, to me, the serrations on the Sand Viper are a little bit smoother, and the ones on the Pit are a little bit sharper. Everything on the Pit is a little bit sharper and aggressive in comparison to the Sand Viper, based on what I've already seen. The stippling pattern also on the Pit Viper is a little bit more aggressive than the one on the Sand Viper. Now, these are both hand stippled, which is very different from the ones that you see for the EMG ones, which I think they're factory stippling or something like that, but they aren't as aggressive as these. So even when I'm actually holding this without gloves, which I don't really like to, you can kind of feel it kind of digging into your hands on the Pit. The Sand Viper, not so much. It's aggressive, but it's not aggressive to the point where, when you hold it in your bare hands, you feel a little pinch in your hands when you're manipulating the system. So those are one of the big differences. So if you're looking at, I think, comfort and also just overall smooth operation, I think the Sand Viper, based on what I've seen, has a bit of an edge over the Pit Viper in that sense. So I guess over time, we'll see how things compare once we start shooting. Now, the hammers, right? Well, obviously, the Sand Viper hammer is still broken, and this broke literally after about 1,000 rounds, but it still works. So if I try to run this right now, it'll fire no problem. But obviously you have that, that's a bit of an annoying thing. And this one is steel. I haven't really used it yet. So, it still has to prove itself. After about 1,000 rounds, we'll see where the Pit Viper overall, how is it situated. Now, it's the same thing internally. For the most part, from what I've seen, these are pretty much exactly the same. I haven't seen much difference in terms of quality with for example, the blowback unit or the loading nozzle, which is the thing that I'm most worried about. And the thing that everybody should be worried about when it comes to Army armament, because that part is the thing that's notoriously known for cracking and for pretty much having the most amount of damage and wear, naturally, because it is an Army armament. So for the Sand Viper, it has broken on me already like twice. The first one broke after about maybe 5,000 rounds. And the second one, I don't know, at least 1,000, at least 1,000. So, but I shot this one a lot. I shot the Sand Viper a lot. We did a lot of gameplay last year. We did a review and we ran around with it. We played out a bunch of different fields. We did Area 41. I think Black Fox maybe a couple of times, a few others. This is after they allowed metal slides. And then for the Pit, the EMG one is more well known. The Army armament, as with a lot of their products, are still relatively unknown. And for the most part, a lot of them do have a bad reputation for their internal quality. But I can tell you right now, one thing that the both of these have over I would say the EMG would probably be the stippling on the grips for both of these. If you're really into a good stipple job, go for the Army Armament. And then in addition to that, the attention to detail on the magwells. If you see how smooth that is, that's slippery smooth. So I tried loading the magazines in a couple of times on these and doing like some dry runs with some dry reload drills, and everything felt really nice. So as you can see, that's really smooth right there. And I believe the EMG is not like this. So if you're into that, that's another reason to definitely to check this out. Okay. Obviously the iron sights as well on the pit, you know, I prefer irons a lot of the times too because they're faster, and then not having a dot will mean you get, less reciprocating mass, which is more travel, better efficiency, and also less wear on the loading nozzle and the internal parts on the upper portion of the slide. So that's something to take into consideration as well. As far as propellants go, I did see on a lot of websites that they're offering CO2 versions of these gas magazines. Now, listen to me. I'm going to say this again, right? And this is coming from, somebody who is in Japan, who is an American airsofter in a foreign country that, for the most part, uses only one particular type of propellant. You're not going to ever see a video where I'm going to tell you to put something in something somewhere it doesn't belong. And I can tell you that CO2 doesn't belong in this if it's standard. So I am not going to put it in the Pit Viper. If it says 134A or green gas on the description, and I don't have access to green gas, guess what's going in it? It's going to be 134A. It's not going to be CO2. So unless you want to damage your internals, or unless you specifically customize it to handle that kind of propellant, that should be something you should be definitely staying away from, okay, if you don't want to damage your product and void your warranty or lack thereof. So that's something to consider. We got compensators, not comp, what am I saying? I'm talking nonsense. Threaded compensators, okay? Threaded compensators on the end here. We got threads. So we have inner barrels that go out, that protrude, so we can connect our tracer to these bad boys, and we can run luminous all day long. And these are 14 millimeter, so they will fit the majority of tracers that a lot of people do use. Not so much like the DVCP, which has a very weird thread, which I don't know what I would put on that, or the Costa. So, but then again, the problem with those two particular models is that the inner barrels are too short anyway. They don't protrude out the compensator. These do. So you have that option for a little bit more range, and also you can now add your attachments. Okay. Also, another cool thing about the both of these is that the parts, all right, slide, frame, all that good jazz, they are cross compatible. I will be doing some cross compatibility in the other video that I will make, so go ahead if you guys want to check that out. Guys, it's gonna be in the members only, and we'll see what I'm gonna do right now. For the members only videos, I might just leave them without thumbnails. You guys can go in there and check them out if you guys are interested, so you know exactly what I'm doing on there. If you're interested, once again, go ahead and check that out. I'm loving this TTI grip job. This is an awesome grip job. This is really cool. They did a really good job with this. And also on the bottom portion of this, we got all the trades on the bottom, Tyrant Tactical Innovations model. And you can see it there. This one is the Pit Viper. This one is a Sand Viper. They both say Simi Valley, California, USA. Even though these are not made in the United States. They're made in China, I think. Yeah. But you got all the trades. Taran logo right there. Taran logo on the mag release. Taran logo on the Taran. What am I saying? Taran logo on the rear sight. The Taran logo right there. The Sand Viper doesn't have that many Taran logos. There's like a few of them. There's one here. There's not one on the mag button. But then again, it feels so much smoother and like less cheesy. And I would probably assume that if the high grade version to this would probably be a lot better than the standard. So this is the standard. And guys, just listen to this. You see how smooth that? Listen to how smooth that is. See how smooth that is? That's like nothing, right? It's like it's on ball bearings. And then compare that to, the safety's down. This one, like it's kind of, you can kind of hear it like the rough scratching a little bit. It's a little bit more labored. But it's probably because it's a little bit dry. This did come really dry, so I don't know if that's a factor. But yeah, I like both. I will be running both, and it's going to be really fun to see how they both fare in CQB. The Sand Viper for me was never the outdoor setup. For me, typically when I do run this, I run it indoors, and the magazine has to be fairly warm. I feel like if I were to do it outdoors, it would suffer. And that usually was the case. So for me, it was an indoor only setup. And then the other issue was the breaking of the loading nozzle, which kept happening over and over again, which still does happen. So we're on the third one. So that's something to consider. No sights, more reciprocating mass, a little bit more smoother. Things will break. The hammer has broken on this. And then you have the Pit Viper, which is a little bit more on the traditional side with the sights, okay? No optic unless you want to change that and mount something on there by removing your rear sight, I'm sorry. And for the most part, yeah, it's a little bit drier out of the box, the CNC version, which is this, but we'll lube it up and see where it goes from there. Right now, these are both really good. I'm really excited to run both of these in some games, and I will do my best to provide the best footage for you guys as possible. So once again, thank you so much for supporting my videos, and look out for more content on the way, including gameplays and training videos as well, guys. So we got a lot of good stuff coming up for 2024. Stay tuned and peace.